What's going on, everybody? In today's video, we're going to be talking about some of the best Pokemon cards that you could buy under $50. We have a ton of different examples and market comparisons. Before we jump in, make sure you guys are hitting that subscribe button. Thank you so much to everybody who helped us cross 2,000 subscribers. If you guys ever want to support the channel at no additional cost to you, by clicking this eBay link, even if you do not buy from me, help support the channel. If you're looking to get factory sealed product cases, in volume at competitive prices, we have some very useful tiers here, the starter and elite tier, so be sure to check that out. And if you guys ever want to buy anything, visit our website, PokeKingShop.com. I wanted to start off because I've already made so many videos talking about the first partner Series 1, and the Bulbasaur out of the Kanto line has just absolutely exploded in value. There was some news that just came out that there's apparently a little Pikachu cameo, and just because of that, the Bulbasaur just shot up in value like crazy. If we look at, actually on this chart here, we're looking at moderately played, but we have near mint at $44. Prior to this Pikachu news, the card was about $25 to $30. So we've seen a huge surge in value. And now I believe the Bulbasaur is actually more valuable than the Squirtle. The Charmander remains to be in the first place prize, but it is still a super, super good set to invest in. Obviously, Series 2 just came out. People are loving the starters, but one thing to keep in mind is Gen 1 is Gen 1. Okay, Series 2, a lot of the value there is going to be carried by Generation 2, but Generation 1 just holds a special place in collectors' hearts, and it's going to carry the value. I still think buying any of the Kanto 1 starters under $50 is a screaming buy, and even despite the recent increase in price at $44, this still doesn't seem very expensive. And I wanted to give you guys a comparable here, talking about the illustration rare Bulbasaur, which is one of the chasers from Stellar Crown. This one, obviously, beautiful, beautiful artwork as well. But as you can see, this one near mint is well over $100. We got $130. And this card it's going up in value, up 15%. In the past 3 months, we're up 64%. And obviously, I don't want to spend too much time on this card because in this video, we're talking about cards under $50. But if this card could surge past 100, there's no doubt in my mind that the same could be said for this one. It is just going to take time. And the reason for that is there's still a lot of boxes in circulation. There's still a lot of people who are grading the promos and things like that. But I've even noticed that just the boxes are beginning to get more expensive at close to $70 a box. I initially was selling them to our wholesale members at $50, and they were selling very, very fast. Then we raised the price to $60, and we're still pretty much sold out. And before you know, it's going to be a $100 box. So as that sealed product gets more expensive, the singles inside will as well. Another product right here. This is actually one that is well cheaper. Not in that $50 range, but you could get near mint copies for $6. The Pikachu from the Pokemon Day. I don't know why, but this one is still super, super undervalued. Obviously, this comparable that we're looking at right here is a damaged copy, so don't pay too much attention. It is going to be a little bit more expensive for a near mint, but let's even say $7 to $8 for this Cosmos foil Pikachu with the Pokemon Day 30th anniversary stamp is just a screaming buy. Easily $20 card right here. And again, it's just going to take a little bit of time to kind of flush out the supply. There's still a lot of Pokemon Day boxes out there, but this is one of those products where the Pokemon Company is not going to make more because there's nothing really too crazy or anything to get like that excited about. You get the Mega Pack, Phantasmal Flames, and the Pikachu, and that's pretty much it. The retail price on the product's like $15, something like that. So again, it's not a very expensive product. The Pokemon Company doesn't really have a lot of business in reprinting or just adding a ton of more Pikachu promos. This got released in January of 2026, and the fact that this is still under $10 is just, it's such an easy opportunity right now. Definitely make sure to have a few of these, whether it's the sealed boxes or just the singles themselves. Mega Lucario from Ascended Heroes. The fact that this card is not going up in price relative to what the market's doing with other cards is just crazy to me. This is a Mega Attack Rare. You get the beautiful Japanese text. It pops, it glows. The premium poster collection of Ascended Heroes has now surpassed $150. My prediction was that I was going to hit $150 like 6 months from the time it got released, and it's already there. My new target on those boxes is well over $200, and if the boxes are going up in price, theoretically, the exclusive promo should as well, but that is not the case. So that is presenting a really, really good buying opportunity right now. Just being able to stock as many of these Mega Lucarios, it is going to be such a good buy, and if you look at kind of like past historical data, when I'm thinking, hey, is Lucario a really good investment? Is that the type of card I want to have in my portfolio? First you think of like Charizard, Pikachu, etc. The reason why I like Lucario is because I look at the success of Crown Zenith, which featured Lucario. It had the promo there too. The promo has performed extremely well. I look at the Mega Evolution block, which was the base set, and that featured Lucario as kind of the poster child for that set. You have Gardevoir, you have Venusaur, but the main gold card that you want to pull out of there is the Lucario. Now, the Gardevoir is not bad either. I think that's another one that is obvious, like an obvious buy as well. But I want to focus on the Lucario because the Lucario should be significantly more expensive. I think the current difference in price between the two is maybe like 1867. The Gardevoir is maybe like $12, so it's like a $6 difference. This card should at least be double. The Lucario should at least be double of what the Gardevoir is doing. Easily, we should be at least seeing $30 on this promo. So the fact that you're still able to get this under $20, it just presents such a good opportunity to buy so many extra copies. And this is one that I can't emphasize enough. Almost in the same way of the first Partner Series 1. Just buying any of the Kanto starters, or even like the Gen 4, like the Sinnoh line as well. Chimchar made some videos about those, saying that those are cheap at like $7. But the fact that this promo is just kind of sitting stagnant right now, despite the sealed product going up, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. So really strong buy right there. Definitely make sure to have that in your collection. Moving on, we've seen recently a bunch of buyouts on Palladium Fates. There was targeted buyouts on Elite Trainer boxes. A lot of people are stocking up. And for those who don't know, this is obviously the promo that comes inside. I believe the Pokemon Center one is about $100, but I wanted to focus on the regular one because I think what's going to happen is a lot of collectors and investors, you're just going to begin to get priced out from buying the Pokemon Center. It's going to be a situation that we have currently with Obsidian Flames where the Charmander stamped Pokemon Center is like a $300 card. And why would you spend $300 on that Pokemon Center card if you're a casual collector when you could get the normal one for like a fraction of the price? And I believe that same exact thing is going to happen with this specialty set here, Palladium Fates. People are not going to pay 5 times as much to have the little Pokemon Center. Now, the people who are, looking to buy promos to grade, resell, make money that way, sure, they're going to go down that Pokemon Center route. But the casual collector who's just purchasing for the artwork is going to go for the regular Black Star promo that is found from the regular ETBs. And the fact that these are also still under $20 is just absolutely crazy to me for a set that has seen so much growth through the cards inside of the set, like the Bubble Mew, the Charizard, the Gardevoir, but mainly the Bubble Mew driving the value. The fact that we are currently seeing a market price of 15, recent sale 18, again under $20, it just makes no sense. Now, you've seen a lot of growth. This was under $10. You've seen in the past 6 months it's up 100%. But I don't want to focus too much on the percentage here because the percentage gain is kind of irrelevant. The card itself is $15. When the ETBs are $200, $300, $400, how is the exclusive promo that cheap? It just doesn't make that much sense because the packs aren't that expensive. Palladium Fates packs aren't $40, $50 a pack. So that value needs to come from somewhere, and that is why I believe the Mimikyu here is an extremely good investment. Super good card to have. It's a pretty popular Pokemon. Really unique artwork. It's giving me almost like a Pikachu gray felt hat kind of vibe here with like the sewing going on. Very unique artwork. At $15, you cannot go wrong. Now, this one, I pulled up the Dedenne as an example, specifically from Perfect Order, but this kind of just applies to any illustration rare that has a good artwork that's cheap. This is just crazy to me that you have an illustration rare that costs the same amount as the cost of a booster pack. Now with booster packs, you're guaranteed a hollow foil, but you get this adorable Dedenne just sitting here, fall, autumn season, munching on an apple, like $8 for this. It's just a mismatch in price relative to value. Like if the sealed product is so expensive and this is considered like a good hit, illustration rare is obviously not good, not as good as like a full art or a special illustration rare, but pulling an illustration rare is still a respectable hit. Easily should be a $15 to $20 card. Presents a really good opportunity to double up. And again, they just came out, but past 3 months it dropped a lot. You could see that it opened out the gate at 17, but now as people have begun to pull the cards, it's selling for only about $7. Nothing too crazy, but I do expect it to bounce back, like down 60% on illustration rares. Illustration rares will see their day. This is kind of a similar situation to what we saw with tag team cards, where tag team cards for the longest time, they were very undervalued. I remember Japanese tag team cards, you could buy like near mint copies for like $7, $8. Some of the better ones were like 15, but it just made no sense. And now the absolute worst tag teams are like 30, 40, $50, with the better ones being 100 plus. And eventually you are going to see a similar situation with the illustration rares. Now, I'm not saying go all in on just the Dedenne card, but one thing that you should keep in mind is that just any illustration rares that are for a few dollars, you can't get any cheaper than that. So it's a very safe play. Moving on, one a little bit closer to that $50 price point is going to be the Sword and Shield era Charizard. I have seen that the box of the Charizard UPC continues to climb higher and higher. I've seen sellers list the individual boxes at $650, and I've seen factory sealed cases being listed, and I'm not sure if they're selling at that price, but with how strong the market is, I wouldn't be surprised, at like $3,000 to $3,200, which is $800 a box. So in that $600 to $800 range for a UPC, people who can't afford to pay that much and just want to get the really cool promo. The Sleepy Charizard with the Venusaur in the back, I mean, this at $50 is just a screaming buy. Past month, not too much traction, but past 3 months, you are seeing that it was in the $30 range. Now it's almost doubled in the $60 range, but this still has a lot of room to run as that UPC becomes more expensive and more valuable. Initially, when it came out, nobody wanted them at the retail price of $120. Now you can see that box has quadrupled in value and it's still selling out. The fact that the Charizard hasn't really raised in value, it's a really good buy. Circling back to other illustration rares, this is one that's just very good because it has a lot of value from the set. As the Phantasmal Flame set gets more expensive, it is very, very smart to be purchasing illustration rares. Now, you're not going to find a popular Pokemon from a great set like Phantasmal Flames for $7. Like the Meowth's not going to be $7. But even at $25, this is very undervalued. This is one of the top illustration rares that you could hit out of the set. And the fact that it's $20, again, it doesn't make much sense. You could see that I was selling for $13, $14, but if a pack of Phantasmal Flames costs $12, how can one of the best illustration rares be that same amount? That's where you're already seeing a little bit of a correction. You can see that the market price here is about $23, but again, you just can't go wrong when you're looking at how expensive the sealed product is relative to how cheap the singles are. It's very obvious for me, and I think illustration rares right now are kind of being underappreciated. I don't know if they're just too easy to hit or what it is, but the prices just feel low in this market. Now, here's actually a better example. Like Clefairy, Perfect Order, arguably significantly worse set than Phantasmal Flames, but it's a really cool artwork, and you can see that this one is $30. And the Meowth, I would say on an artwork basis, it's comparable, So the fact that this is still undervalued as well, because if the top illustration rare in the set should not be only like trading at a 2 or 3x, it's a respectable hit. It's a beautiful artwork. If you look at the history on this one opened out the gate almost at $40, dropped to $30, didn't drop as much, but cards like this, they just have more room to run, and illustration rares as a whole are very, very undervalued. I just wanted to present a few examples here. The Meowth, the Dedenne. This is like the most obvious example because of just how cheap it is, but some of the more popular Pokemon, it is worth making that investment. The last card I wanted to talk about, one I've talked many times about, it's the Mega Charizard promo. I mean, this is just insane. I'm getting straight throwback to Flashfire 2014. The beautiful Mega Charizard, and you have the Mega Attack rare, you got the Japanese text. If this was a set card, it would be way more expensive, but because it's a promo, it's cheap. That presents a really good opportunity to buy. I mean, last 6 months, it's still down in price. This was a $60 card. Right when it opened out the gate, it was $80. In my eyes, this is going to be a $100 card. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen in a week, but this is going to be one of those super obvious plays that if you just don't have it, or you didn't buy it, you're gonna miss out on those gains. And again, not much explanation needed. It's Mega Charizard. When's the next time we're gonna get a sick artwork like that? So hopefully you guys learned something. Top Pokemon cards to buy under $50. Again, if you want to show some support to the channel, make sure you guys are hitting that eBay link anytime you're shopping. This will direct you to my store, but you could buy from anyone, and it does help out the channel. If you want to get factory sealed cases, we have the starter tier, which gives you up to 5 cases per month. Elite, no limits, no restrictions, absolute cheapest pricing. You get right here, like it says, unlimited wholesale access, direct support from me as well. Very, very useful links. Be sure to join. And most importantly, if you guys ever want to buy something from my website, there it is. I believe that is like the 4th or 5th link down. PokeKingShop.com. Appreciate you guys for all the support lately on the videos. Make sure to subscribe as well, as we are trying to hit 3,000 subscribers. But that's all I have for this video, guys. Until the next one.